Meet Erik. Erik is technically better connected than any human being in history. He has the world's knowledge in his pocket and 500 friends on social media. Yet Erik is exhausted, anxious, and strangely lonely. He's stuck in a loop. He tries to wind down, but his brain won't shut off. He is a victim of what researchers call the mobile connectivity paradox, and he isn't alone. You might feel this too. The data is startling. Simply disconnecting for 1 week has been shown to drop anxiety by 16% and depression by 25%. That's a massive gain comparable to clinical therapy. So why is it so hard for Erik and you to just put the phone down? Today we are going to fix that. This isn't just a feeling, it's measurable damage. We are going to look at 3 hard data points drawn from recent research. First, studies show that task switching, jumping between work and notifications, leaves behind attention residue, reducing your productive time by up to 40%. Second, heavy screen use, defined as over 6 hours daily, correlates with a 49% increase in stress levels and a 50% higher risk of anxiety. Finally, since 2012, the time young people spend in face-to-face interaction has dropped by 50%. We are trading deep focus and real connection for a state of constant low-grade panic. Welcome to the Shutdown Code. In this video, we aren't just going to list the problems, we are going to solve them. We are going to deconstruct the mobile connectivity paradox, the confusing reality where technology meant to make us efficient actually slows us down, and tools meant to connect us actually isolate us. By the end of this video, you will have a practical neurological protocol to help your brain stop suppressing melatonin and start recovering. We are going to help Erik and you break the cycle. Here is exactly what I'm going to demonstrate for you today. It's a technique called the Shutdown Ritual. It's not just about willpower, it's about hacking your neurochemistry. I'm going to show you how to review your open loops so your brain stops worrying about them. Then we will perform a physical separation from the device. Finally, I will show you the most important step, the vocalization trigger. You will literally say, "Shut down complete." It sounds simple, but it provides the psychological closure required to stop the Zeigarnic effect, that nagging pull of unfinished business, dead in its tracks. What happens when you do this? The results are rapid. You reduce what experts call privilege anxiety, that subtle stress of constantly wondering if you're missing an important message or task. You clear away attention residue, allowing you to actually focus on your work or your family without half your brain still processing that last email. Most importantly, you give your brain permission to stop suppressing melatonin, allowing for the deep restorative sleep that Erik has been missing for years. Let's go back to Erik. He has a great job that allows him to work remotely. He feels empowered. But this freedom has a dark side. Researchers Jarvanpaa and Lang identified this as the empowerment-enslavement paradox. Because Erik can be reached anywhere, he feels he must be available everywhere. His device has become an electronic ankle chain. He denies himself downtime because the boundaries between work and life have dissolved. He isn't actually resting, he's just waiting for the next ping. He is technically independent, yet totally dependent on the device. This is the core of the mobile connectivity paradox. It is the observation that while our intent with technology is to improve efficiency and understanding, the unchecked use of it generates negative externalities that undermine those very goals. We have invisible walls built between us and the people right next to us. We have moved from a state of presence to a state of absent presence, physically there but psychologically immersed in a digital silo. Erik is suffering because he is trying to solve a psychological problem with a technological tool. Erik prides himself on multitasking. He answers emails during Zoom calls and texts during dinner. But the science says he's deluding himself. He's experiencing continuous partial attention. Every time he switches contexts, his brain burns glucose to reorient. It takes an average of 23 minutes to fully regain focus after a distraction. By trying to be everywhere at once, Erik is effectively nowhere. This isn't efficiency, it's cognitive fragmentation that reinforces shallow processing at the expense of deep thinking. Why can't Erik just relax at night? This is where the Zeigarnic effect comes in. Psychological research shows that our brains are hardwired to hold on to unfinished tasks. It's a survival mechanism. When you leave an email unread or a task half done, your brain creates a cognitive itch, keeping that information active in your working memory. This creates attention residue that spills over into your personal life. Erik isn't just thinking about work. His brain is actively failing to close the file, preventing him from transitioning into a rest state. If you are seeing yourself in Erik's story, you aren't alone. We are building a community here dedicated to mastering our technology rather than being enslaved by it. If you want more evidence-based strategies to hack your focus and reclaim your time, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's get back to the solution. It's not just Erik's fault. He is fighting against a stacked deck. Tech companies have weaponized behavioral psychology. They use a model of trigger, action, and variable reward to create habits. But they added a fourth step: investment. When Erik posts a photo or a comment, he has invested in the platform, which creates a craving to check back for validation. This turns his phone into a dopamine slot machine. He isn't just checking for news, he is checking to see if he matters. The cost of this addiction is highest at night. The blue light from Erik's screen signals his brain that it is still daytime, suppressing the production of melatonin. This doesn't just make him tired, it rewires his emotional stability. Studies show that teens and young adults getting less than 7 hours of sleep see a sharp rise in internalizing disorders like depression. By scrolling at night, Erik is physically blocking the chemical recovery process his brain desperately needs. Sherry Turkle describes this phenomenon as being alone together. We text instead of calling because we can edit our messages. We prefer the control of the digital world to the messiness of real-time intimacy. We try to keep our friends not too close, not too far, but just right, the Goldilocks effect. But this control is an illusion. It leads to social deprivation. Erik has hundreds of weak ties but lacks the strong embodied relationships that actually buffer against stress. So, how do we fix this? We have to override the Zeigarnic effect. Step 1 of the shutdown ritual is the review. You cannot just walk away from work. Your brain won't let you. You must review your open tasks. Write down exactly what needs to be done next for each open project. By writing it down, you are telling your brain, I have a plan. You can stop worrying about this now. You are externalizing the memory so your brain doesn't have to hold it. Step 2 is the vocalization. This might feel silly, but it is crucial. Once you have made your plan, stand up and say out loud, "Shutdown complete." This phrase acts as a termination command for your work mode. It serves as a clear demarcation line. If a worry about work pops up later that evening, you can tell yourself, "No, I said the phrase, I have reviewed the list, I am done." You are training your brain to recognize a specific endpoint to the workday. Step 3 is physical separation. Research shows that the mere presence of a smartphone, even if it's silent, reduces your available cognitive capacity. Your brain is constantly using energy to ignore it. You must put the phone to bed before you go to bed. Charge it in the kitchen. Buy an old-fashioned alarm clock. By removing the device from your sleep environment, you remove the trigger for the dopamine loop and the blue light that kills your sleep. When Erik starts doing this, the paradox begins to crumble. He stops being absent-present and starts being fully present. He isn't just more productive at work because he's rested, he is more human at home. He reclaims his solitude, which is the bedrock of self-reflection. He stops using people as spare parts to fill the silence and starts connecting with them because he wants to share his life. We have to understand that solitude is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. Solitude is the glory of being alone. In the hyper-connected world, we have lost the ability to just be. If we are alone for a second, we panic and reach for a phone. The shutdown ritual gives you back your solitude. It gives you the space to process your emotions, to think creatively, and to stabilize your identity without needing constant external validation. We aren't Luddites. We aren't throwing our phones in the ocean. We are adopting what some call Real Technic, a practical, skeptical approach to technology. We acknowledge the costs. We recognize that while the digital world offers connection, it often delivers isolation. By establishing the shutdown code, we are deciding that our mental health, our sleep, and our relationships are more valuable than being always on. We are choosing to be well connected rather than overconnected. Tonight, try it. Review your list. Say the phrase, shutdown complete. Put the phone in the other room. See how you feel tomorrow. If you want to continue this journey of reclaiming your mind from the digital fray, make sure to subscribe and share this video with the person in your life who needs to hear Shutdown Complete the most. Thanks for watching.